This is Scotty again. I posted earlier about the bus system. I'm not trying to say that the bus system is bad, but this is what you have to look forward to. And the reason I'm doing another video is because I just remembered that they are going to do Medicaid changes in July for the ones on Medicaid. So this is probably going to be an ongoing thing with the bus companies, and it ain't going to just be Murray Transit. It's going to be all of them. All of them are going to be the same way. But the reason I put out the first video is because I feel like people needed to know what today's all about. And it's not really about me per se, but it's about me being able to take care of my own family. I should not have to call my son 30 minutes away, thank God he was home, to be able to do that, but he lives in another town. I should not have to call him when I have a bus company that I buy a bus pass for or do like I'm supposed to. Now, I'm not saying anybody's bad, anybody did a bad job. I'm just saying this is something that needs to be addressed. If anybody knows of anybody that's got a wheelchair van, a vehicle, I'm in an electric wheelchair. I don't usually put out videos asking for this kind of thing, but it's a prime example of what happened today is what's going to continue to happen. Because basically what they're saying is people like me are not going to be able to go out and do their own business. They're not going to be able to do those things because the bus is not optimal. Now I could understand if I wanted each driver to take me off the bus at every little stop. I could see where that would get a little tedious and tiring. But to pull over right next door to where I needed to pay a bill and for my wife to be able to simply get off the bus and go and pay the bill and get back on the bus so we could come back home. That's all we needed to do. It turned into chaos because of that. And there's no reason for it. Because basically what you're saying is people in wheelchairs are not can't be members of your community, and that's not fair. We reserve the right to be in the community just like everybody else. I deserve the right, if I do everything I'm supposed to do, call 24 hours in advance or a week or two in advance. I'm supposed to be able to get a ride, and I shouldn't have to call my son to get those rides. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not real happy about it that happened. But also, it is a nice service to have. But please, if people are looking for jobs, go to these transit companies and please fill out an application to drive their buses. They need more drivers and more people so they can get more buses and put more people to work. It's a win-win situation for everybody. With that being said, I still am not real happy about today because my wife shouldn't have had to do that. But there again, you can't really blame the transit companies because of the way they're set up and the way the government makes them run. But I beg of y'all, uh, you know, I don't normally do this at all, and I don't really like coming on here and doing this and saying, I need a wheelchair vehicle. Um, but there's places where you can get them, but you have to have, and at the Congress, you have to have perfect credit. You have to have all this stuff to be able to get them. And you can rent them by the day, by the week, by the month. But even at that, it still costs a lot more. And there's a place called Superior Band Mobility in Evansville, Indiana, that buys and sells handicapped vehicles. I've dealt with them before, getting ready to try to deal with them again. I'm not asking anybody, but if somebody sees this and they want to help, get in touch with me. You can text me, you can email me, and you can DM me on any of these platforms if anybody would like to help. Now, I want to be an active member of society. I'm not trying to beg anybody, and I'm not trying to live off the government. I want to work just like everybody else does, but examples like today makes it virtually impossible. Okay? I want to go to church and I want to be in my community. And you say, well, how has your wife, how has your family done this all these years and now all of a sudden they can't? My wife has done this job, not specifically for me, the whole 30 years, but she's been a CNA or personal care attendant for over 30 years. And she used to full body lift me into a vehicle. She is no longer able to do that anymore. My son has full body lift me since he's been able to for his mom. They do all they can. And all I'm asking for is a little bit of assistance. If you don't have money to give, but you know somebody that does, please pass this around. Now, I don't want everybody going out and saying, well, Scotty said that Murray Transit was a bad system. It's not. It's got flaws in it that need to be worked out. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that it's not a useful service. And if anybody sees this from Murray Transit, thank you guys for what you do. I do want to say that. Thank you guys for what you do. But today was an act of I need a vehicle so me and my wife can go out and do what the Lord has called us to do. Now, I'm not a stranger to using a bus. I'm not too good. I've been using buses for years. But now it's gotten to the point that the buses are not as feasible as they once were. If you want to go to church or you want to go somewhere, you can't. Because you have to fit within their guidelines and in their time constraints. And let me say this before I go any further. It's not the bus company's fault that they have restraints. It's not their fault that they can't do everything that they're doing. But there's people out there wanting jobs and they won't take the jobs because it's not as much money as they want to make. But it's a job. I've told my stepson, and everybody around me that I'm not going to ask you to do anything I wouldn't do. And trust me, I've tried to call down there and get a job to be a dispatcher and everything else. Trying to support my family so that we can be a family and do more together. Now, I'm an evangelist and I know God's able. I know He is. And I know what He's called me to do, and I know what He's told me to do, and I need to be out in the community to do that. I can't just sit in my four walls and expect what God's called me to do to get done. But if I'm able to get out in the community and I'm able to travel, I'm able to get out and do what I need to do and what He's called me to do to maybe help other people get jobs and more sustainability. It's the videos I put out today about this are basically advocacy videos. I am advocating for the public, people that use wheelchairs and assisted devices. I'm not out here trying to say that anybody's bad. I'm not out here trying to say anything. These drivers are overworked and underpaid, and they don't have enough. Now, could we do more? Yes. We could call our state senators. We could get government programs, because there should be government programs for people to be out in the community but be able to pay for the bus. Right now, they don't have much of that and can't. Now, so if my wife gets sick and she has to go to the emergency room, somebody has to come and get me and pick me up so I can go be with her or whatever. But there's other people who don't have people picking them up, and I'd rather be. I'm in an electric wheelchair. We will show you the video of that here in just a little bit. Um, but I want to be there when there's stuff going on. But instances like today, we can't allow that. And we need some of these car dealers that are buying cars and different things. We need some of these guys to partner together and buy accessible wheelchairs. Because I'm going to tell you, around the Paducah area, around the Marion area, you do not have a wheelchair dealer that I can go and check out a vehicle for myself. I have to go to Evansville, Indiana, or somewhere else, wherever it may be. And a lot of times, you've already got it bought before you even see it. Okay? We got all these buy here, pay here lots around this area, but nobody wants to help the community. But we want to sit there and say what stuff needs to be done. If a bunch of these car dealers would get together and churches and kind of help get all that together, there would be more opportunities for people such as myself and other people that want to get out and do work. I want to start a bunch of my own companies, and I'm going to. This today ain't going to stop me. But if I have a vehicle that I can do that with, it makes it that much easier. And this is why it makes it that much easier, because I'm able to take care of my wife. I'm able to be productive. I'm able to do what a husband should do. I'm able to be with her when she needs it. We are each other's support system. Some people don't even have that, and they can't even go and see a friend or family or whatever. So please, anybody that sees this video, don't think I'm out here ranting and raving and saying Murray Transit is bad. They are not bad. They are not bad people. They just need more people to chip in and help them with funding for drivers so they can pay a little more so that drivers don't want to stick. We just need the funding and people to back things up so they can do more for the community so everybody can engage. It's not a one size fits all and you got this and that for people that can walk. It needs to be a universal situation. Because if I simply just need to go to the emergency room for something that I may need urgent care, but it's not so urgent that I need an ambulance, guess what? Can't go. Unless I find somebody to help me or take me.